Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how to recreate this look. This is my New Year's Eve look that I've come up with, and I really hope you enjoy watching it. So if you are interested, keep on watching. So I went ahead and did this whole side first. I did my eyebrows and then I also did like the eye look. I just did a black and gold. The gold is obviously shimmery, and then I went ahead and did an eyeliner and I put fake eyelashes on. Now I normally don't wear fake eyelashes, but because tonight is New Year's Eve, I just thought it'd be fun to do something extra and to just add a little bit to it. Since my eyelashes are really short anyways and you can't really see them, I thought it'd be fun to add these to them. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the other side, exactly how I did this side. So if you are interested, stay tuned. So the first step in this look is to prime your eyelids. Now I'm just going to be taking this concealer. It's the Instant Age Rewind. Mine is the shade 100 Ivory. And I'm also going to be taking a beauty blender, and I'm just going to put that on as the primer. Some people use actual eyelid primers. I tried one earlier before I did this one, and I'm going to have to test it some more. I've used it a couple times, but for some reason it was causing the black eyeshadow to have like a crease line right in here, and I don't know what was wrong with it. So I'm gonna have to test it out a couple more times to see if I really like it, but I know this works with all, like most of my eyeshadows, so I went ahead and just switched and did this one. After you press it into your eyelid, you're gonna go ahead and use a translucent setting powder. I use the Cody Airspun one, and then I just take a brush that looks like this and I just pat it just to set your concealer. Now before I go ahead and start applying eyeshadow, I'm going to show you how I do my brows. So I use an eyebrow pencil. It's the Revlon Colorstay brow pencil in the shade 205 Blonde. And it has a spoolie on this end, and then the other side is a twisty. So you just twist it like that. And I use that for my eyebrows. And I'm going to be using a palette mirror, so if you see that, that's what it is. After I put the color in it, I go ahead and use the spoolie to just brush it out because it is kind of powdery, so I want to make sure it just stays in place. Now I'm going to use a concealer again, and I'm going to just kind of like outline my brows. I don't use a whole lot. I just use a little bit. I also will take my finger and just press the concealer in. So that is what it looks like after I have finished doing all of that, and that's all I do for my brows. I don't do anything extra, and I don't put like a brow gel or anything. The next step is to start applying eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the Morphe, it's the 35F palette, and I'm going to start with a transition shade. So I'm going to be using this bottom color right here first with a fluffy brush. My fluffy brush has been used a lot, so it's kind of pigmented, but it's not gonna like come off on my eyes, but it looks like that. And you're just gonna blend this from here up to about here, and you're just gonna like take it in your crease and a little bit above, and then like brush it down onto your actual eyelid as well. This is just going to help later when you're adding the black on top. It's going to help it to sit on the eyelid a little better. It is now time for the actual black shade, and it is the last color at the very bottom. And the thing I like about this black is that you can build it up. It's not super pigmented when you first put it on, but you can add layers and it's not going to affect the eyeshadow. And so it makes it easier to apply the dark shadow without it being too crazy at first. And I really like that because some blacks, they are way too pigmented. And so when you start applying them, it gets on too dark, and it's easier to add the black shadow than take it away. So I'm just going back and forth in kind of like a sweeping motion. And you don't want to go all the way down to your inner corner. You're just going to go about right here with it. So now that I have the black to the desired color I want, you can build it up as much or as little as you want. This is as far as I want to go to make it match the other side that I've already done. So now I'm going to pick the Shimmery Gold shade. I've also seen some people for New Year's Eve looks use silver, but I really wanted to use gold. So I'm using this color over here. It's again towards the bottom. It's this one, if you can see it, but it's that one. And I'm going to be taking a flat packing brush. This one is from e.l.f. And I'm going to be also taking my setting spray. I'm using the Hard Candy Matte Sheer Envy. Controls oil, minimizes pores, 12-hour wear and hydration setting spray. Looks like this. And I'm going to be spraying my brush. This color from this palette, you don't necessarily have to spray it because it already comes off really well on a brush, but I just wanted to spray it just because it helps it some. So when you apply this shade, you're going to go from the inner corner all the way till about right where you finished putting the black shade. You're going to overlap it a little bit just so that it's seamless whenever you look at it, so it's not like a harsh line. Now that I have the gold exactly how I want it, I am going to go back into that black shade and I'm going to just go over it a little bit and overlap it a tiny bit over the gold. Not a whole lot, because you don't want to like completely cover what you just put on, but you just want to just do it a little bit just so that they blend really evenly into each other. Now that we've finished that, it is time for eyeliner. And this is one of the hardest parts for me, and I'm going to try my best to like film it as good as I can so that you can see what I'm doing and explain it as well as I can. I'm using a liquid like eyeliner. It's almost like a pencil sort of, but the end is different than any one I've ever seen before because it's like a thin tip and then it's got like a ball kind of thing on it. But I'll try to like, I don't know how well it's gonna do it. I don't know if you can see very well, but that's what it looks like. And it's from Maybelline. It's called the Curvitude liner and it is in black. And I really like that the pencil end is, well, I just got it on myself, but the pencil end, not only is the end really like sharp at the end, but it's the actual like brush thing is slanted at a curve, so it makes it really easy when you're trying to do like a winged liner to get it exactly how you want. So off camera, I went ahead and cleaned up the edge. All I did was take my concealer and a small little brush. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this. It's a small flat brush, and I just made a line with it and used my beauty blender to blend it out just so that it's a smooth edge, so it's not too crazy looking. And I'm going to attempt to make my eyeliner look the same as the other side. So I went ahead and zoomed you in closer to try to make it easier for you to see what I'm doing. But I'm just going to go ahead and get started and try to explain this as best as I can. I'm just going to slant the brush where it looks like this, and you're going to, I always rest my pinky on my face, but you don't have to. And you're just going to follow the line of where your eyeliner is. You're going to obviously come out a little bit like to the side of where that is, but you're just going to try to follow that line as best as you can. And then you're going to like go from this way to this way and flip it to make the line back connecting to your eye. And then you're just going to fill it in. The end is always the hardest part for me. I don't know what it is. Like, I can get it all the way in and it's fine, but like the end, I just want it to match the other one. And so it's kind of difficult. So this is what it looks like. This is the other side. And then this is this side. I'm just going to clean it up and see if that helps. And then I will be right back. So I again just cleaned up the area and I got it as close as I possibly can to the other side, so it looks like this. Now it's time to go ahead and do like the fake eyelash and to like match it into your eyelashes. So I'm going to stay zoomed in for this part real quick because I'm going to go ahead and do my mascara. And then I'm going to show you the lashes I'm going to use, and I may or may not film it. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. The eyelashes I'm going to be using are in the style Shy, and they're from the brand Kiss. They just are supposed to look natural. This is the package that they come in, and then this is what the actual style of the eyelash looks like, if you can see that. And the glue that I use is also from the brand Kiss, and it says Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe, and it's black. I also like to use like the white one, but since I'm using eyeliner, I really like to use this one. And I also use, it comes in the same like brand, it's the Kiss brand, but it's one of these to help pinch to apply the eyelashes to my eyes. And you want to apply them as close to your eye, like your eyelid band, as you can. It's really tricky, so I'm gonna try and film it. If I end up not liking it, I'll just do it off camera and you'll see it that way. But I just let it like get kind of tacky a tiny bit before I apply it to my actual eyelash. But we're gonna see what happens. I'll try to like zoom you out so that you can like see what's happening, maybe. Maybe let's see if you can even see what I'm doing. And you just put like a thin little strip on there, not a lot, because if you glob it on there then it's going to go everywhere, but you just want a thin little band, and then you just want to, I think the packaging actually says like 30 seconds or something, I don't know, but it's not very long. You just have to make sure that it's not still like super wet, but it's not like dry either. So I went ahead and decided to do them off camera. It was just way too difficult to try to film and like focus on what I was doing, but I finally got them on where they look pretty even. It's really not hard to do if you just like practice and just be patient. You have to just do it really slowly. If you try to go too fast, it'll mess them up. But this is what they look like. You are going to need to now take your mascara again, and you're going to want to put the mascara like on your eyelashes again and blend them up into the fake eyelashes. This just helps it look like it's all one cohesive lash instead of like the fake eyelash, and then you can also see like your natural lashes. So you just go really slow and pull them up into it. Now that you have the fake eyelashes on, you are going to want to go over your eyeliner again. I mean, some people, you could just leave it like it is now, but I like to add a little depth to it and make like the eyeliner line darker. So I'm going to go back into that black again, but with a slanted, smaller brush. It looks like this. And you're just going to like re-go over that line very carefully. Now that the top part of your eye is done, you are going to do the bottom part, and you can either take the eyeshadow that you used before, or you can take an eyeliner. I'm taking a pencil brush, not a pencil brush, a pencil, and it looks like this, and it's just black, and you're going to go on your waterline, and you're going to make a line, and then you're going to take like a fluffier brush. I took this small fluffier brush, and you're going to just smudge it out. So now that you have the top part of your eyes done and the smudging underneath your eyes, I'm going to take my mascara again, and I'm going to be doing the bottom eyelashes. So I went ahead and zoomed you all the way in just so that you can see the final look of the eye part of this video, and I really like the way it turns out. You can use any color, you can smudge any color underneath the bottom, but this is just the way I chose to do it. So now I'm going to show you the rest of the part of this video where I'm showing you the base and my bronzer and blush and all of that. So keep watching to see that part. So now it is time to do like the base and all of that. So first I want to prime my face. I'm going to be using two different primers today. They're both from e.l.f. The first one is a hydrating face primer, and it comes in a green bottle like this. And the other one that I'm going to be using comes in a pink bottle, and it's the Poreless face primer. I haven't really been able to tell with the Poreless one that it like minimizes pores, but it does make underneath your eyes like really matte, and I really like that because I get really oily in that area. So just the matteness of this stuff helps, and it helps me to look less oily by the end of the day. But the rest of my face lately has tended to be dry, probably because of like the winter and the changing of the weather and everything. And so I'm going to use that on the rest of my face first. And I use about, let me see if you can see that, but I use about this much for my face. And I only go on my forehead, and then around this area, and on my upper lip, and like the top of my nose, because the rest of that I'm going to use the other primer, and I just rub it in. And I like do the, like whatever excess I have in my hands, I just rub down my neck. Now I'm going to be using a tiny bit of this other one underneath my eyes, and I only use about that much of, let me see, that much of this one, because it doesn't take a whole lot. This one goes a long way. So I just bring it down and just like pat it into my skin. For foundation today, I'm going to be using two different ones. The first one is the Rimmel London Match Perfection 24-Hour Moisture Pore Blurring Effect, and it has a broad spectrum SPF of 20, and I'm using the shade 100 in Ivory. It looks like this. And I'm going to be mixing it with this other foundation. This other foundation is the Born This Way from Too Faced, and it's in the shade Sand. It's a little sample size that I got for Christmas, but it's way too dark, so I mix it with my regular foundation. This particular foundation that I'm using today is kind of light, so I go ahead and just mix a little bit of this in that, and I use a, let me see, a glass little thing and mix them on that. And I'm going to be taking a beauty blender to apply it to my face. And I have a mirror down at this angle, so that's why I'm looking down this way. And these foundations are medium coverage, which I really like. I don't like the ones that are full coverage just because I think it's a bit too much for me. And it also, those kinds like make my face break out really bad. So I like these ones that are medium coverage. For the neck portion, so that like it all blends nicely together, I take this flat, fluffier kind of brush just to help bring it all down, because I feel like when I try to use the beauty blender, it just kind of like leaves streaks, so I like this better. And I also will go over slightly what I just did on my face with this, just to make sure it all looks smooth. And now it is time to add powder. Some people don't add powder on top of their foundation. I just, for me personally, think it helps set all of it. So I'm going to be taking the True Match Mineral Powder from L'Oreal Paris in the shade Light Ivory. It looks like this, and it comes with its own applicator, but I feel like it's too dense of a brush, and I like a fluffier brush, so I use this big one here. This next part is completely optional, but because I'm doing a little bit extra with my makeup, I'm going to do it today. But I normally, on like a normal basis, would not do all of this. But I'm going to be taking my concealer again, and I'm going to be going underneath my eyes just to brighten that on the bridge of my nose, and then up here and a little bit on my chin. And again, I'm taking the Ivory shade in the Instant Age Rewind from Maybelline. And I like to go underneath and make a little triangle. So now that you have all of this on your face, and it looks kind of crazy, you are going to now take your beauty blender and just blend all of that out. Now that you've got that all blended into your skin, you're going to want to take your translucent powder. I'm using the Cody Airspun again, and take that on a beauty blender. You are now going to bake your face with the translucent powder, and you're going to put it underneath your eyes, everywhere that you just put that powder at, and you're going to like pack it on your beauty blender. So now that you look kind of crazy, you are just going to let this sit, and you can do another part of your makeup while you're doing it. I'm going to show you how I do my bronzer while I let this sit. So now I'm going to show you how to do my bronzer. I'm using the Too Faced, I got the Gingerbread Cookie Party, I think is what it's called. That set for Christmas, and the top part of it looks like this. It's like the top part of the house. And it has a bronzy shade right here. I'm going to be using it. It's called Extra Toasty. And you have to be really careful, I've noticed, with this shade because it can go on really dark. So you have to just be really careful. And I just use this slanted, fluffier brush. It is kind of dense, but it is still fluffy. So I just kind of... I do it in circular motions just because I don't want it like a straight line like contour, but I don't want it like, I don't like to do super circular motions where it gets everywhere. So I kind of like make the line where I want it and then blend it out in circular motions. And I'm going in a little heavier than I normally would, but not by too much. And always, if you get it too dark, like you don't like it and it looks way too dark, you can always take your foundation like brush that you used earlier and just use the leftover, like don't get any more like foundation on it, but just use whatever is left over and it'll help make that color go down. So I think that's as dark as I want it. And I'm going to also take it up on my forehead. And I just like quickly, my hair keeps getting in the way, but I just quickly like run my brush over my forehead part. So I think this is as dark as I want it. And I'm going to go ahead and do a bake again. And you're going to take it from here down. And I'm going to go ahead and just show you because it'll make sense better if I just show you. So you're going to pack that bake color on your beauty blender again. And you're going to take it from your ear. See if you can see from your ear. And then just go. So you just go down like that and try to make as straight of a line as you can. Obviously, if you have a beauty blender that has one of the like flat ends instead of like one like this, it'll be easier, but I just like to use this one. It works just fine for me, so. I pinned my hair back, but it keeps getting in the way. Okay, and then just try to make both sides look even with like how high you bring your bake. And just bring it down your jaw like this. And you could add more powder, but this is about as much as I normally do just because I don't want this as bright as like underneath my eyes. So I just do it like this. And you're gonna let it set just like the other. Before we do our blush, I'm gonna go ahead and take off my bake. Other than like the part that we just did right here, I'm gonna take off all of the rest of it because you don't want it like super like way too bright. So I'm just like brushing like this lightly. I'm using a slanted fluffy brush like this to wipe it off, but the powder sometimes it goes everywhere depending on how much you put on, but just kind of brush it lightly off of your face. So this is what it looks like. So you're bright underneath your eyes and everything, but it's not like too crazy. Now it is time to add blush. I'm still trying to get used to this blush just because it goes on kind of dark first, and I just feel like I look weird sometimes if I put on like a lot of blush. But it's this Daydreamer color, and it's also in the Too Faced thing, but it's in the middle. It's kind of, there we go. It's in the middle, and it's like, it's really pretty. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because I haven't worn blush forever. Like, I just started recently this year wearing blush, and so I'm still trying to figure out exactly like what I like about it, or if I like it. Sometimes I like it, and then sometimes I look and I'm like, oh, maybe not. So it's just kind of like I'm trying to get it to look good. Like, my mom can do her blush really good, and it looks so pretty and like really natural. Like, she's like naturally blushing, and then I feel like when I do it I look like a clown. So we're just gonna see what happens. But I don't just apply blush to like my cheeks. I like brush it out. I think it's just because I've seen my mom do it that way. That's why I do it, but I do it like this. And I also have recently like got into like putting a tiny bit of it like at the end of my nose. Like, I just brush it really fast, like, so it's not like super dark pink, but I just like do a little bit of it. Okay, I think that is enough. I'm already feeling like, oh no. But I just put a little bit, so we'll see. But that's what it looks like, and I'm going to go ahead and show you now how to do the highlight part. So the highlight I'm using is from Tarte. It's not actually a highlight, it's just an eyeshadow palette, but I thought I would try it out today and see if I like it or not. And I'm going to be showing you two different spots that I highlight. I'm going to be using the shade, it's called Escape, but it's this one right up here. It's kind of a goldish shade. It's not like completely gold, but it's leaning towards gold. And first I'm going to take a big fluffy brush like this, and I'm going to apply it on my cheekbones. And I really like highlights, so most of the time I put quite a bit on. I'm going to try to be careful with this shade though, just because I've never used it as a highlight, so I don't want it to be too much. And I just like sweep it like this on my face. And then I'm also going to do it on my nose, on the end first. Make sure I don't put too much on. So just like that. And then I'm going to now take a smaller brush. I dropped it, but it looks like, let me see if I can get it to pick it up better, maybe. But it's really tiny like that, and I use that to do it like on the bridge of my nose, and then underneath my eyebrows, like the inner corner of my eyes, and then like right on my Cupid's bow. So this is what it looks like with the highlight. Next, I'm going to show you what I do for my lips after like I wipe the rest of this bake off of my face. So now I'm going to, right where I put that bake at, I'm going to wipe it off so it's not too bright underneath here. Just wipe it off. And then I'm now going to show you what I do to like prep my lips for lipstick. I don't always do this, but my lips have been kind of dry lately, so I'm going to today. But I'm going to just be taking a lip scrub first. This is Eco Lips Brown Sugar. This is from Walmart, so it's not super expensive. but it comes in a little container like this. And I just take a little bit of it and rub it on my lips first. So you can like eat this up, I mean it's just sugar, but most of the time I like to just wipe it off just because I don't know, it doesn't really taste good to me, so I don't want to eat it. So now that I've gotten all of that done and like wiped all of it off, I also am going to go ahead and use an oil. You can use like chapstick and then just like do that, but I'm going to use this 4th Ray watermelon seed oil and put a little bit of it on my lips. Like just, oops, like not even like a full drop or anything, like just like take the dropper and like wipe it across like your bottom lip and just like massage it in. So I went ahead and off camera did my lips. I used this 24-hour Color Superstay. It's like a matte on this side. It's pink with like gold shimmer in it, and then there's a almost like a chapstick kind of thing on the other side, but like you do the matte part first and then you do the lip gloss on top. And I also went ahead and put setting spray. I used again the matte Sheer Envy hard candy one with the blue lid. And I went ahead and took my hair down and everything so that you can see the finished product. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously this is my last video in the new year, before the new year. So I'm super excited to see what 2020 has in store for me, and I'm going to be coming up with a lot of new ideas and different things to do on my channel. So if you have any ideas or anything you'd like to see me do, please leave a comment below. I'll make sure to put in the description all of the products that I used in this video so that if you're interested in any of them you can go down there and look and see what I've used. So I hope you have a great night celebrating before the new year. And if you are new, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you are notified every time I upload. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you soon.